Is Darwin's theory true? Are we really evolved from apes? What does our itihasam say? Please enlighten. Our itihas was written by Homo sapiens, our ancestors who lived several thousand years before. Right? Now, when it comes to evolution, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of years. Uh, the best evidence that we have tells us that there was a migration of Homo sapiens out of Africa roughly 70 or so thousand years ago. That's the best evidence that we have. Now, if new evidence emerges, we will modify our understanding of our history. But from the best evidence that we have, there was an evolution of humans, Homo sapiens, out of Africa roughly 70,000 years ago. The first settlement of the out of Africa migration, permanent long term settlement, was in the Indian subcontinent. And from the subcontinent, humans spread all across the world. All across the world. Before Homo sapiens, we had Homo neanderthalis, Homo florensis, Homo denisovanis, etc., and other archaic humans who lived in Eurasia, who were older migrations of humans out of Africa. But our ancestors were mostly Homo sapiens, with maybe we most non-African humans have about 4% Neanderthal ancestry. You go back about 400,000 years ago, we find the oldest evidence of Homo sapiens, archaic Homo sapiens. 400,000 years ago. The fossils were discovered in a region called Jebel Irhoud in, I think, Morocco or Algeria, North Africa. Before that, we find more ancient humans who are more ape-like. You're Homo erectus, Homo habilis, Homo whatever else, and what Ardipithecus, and so on. So you can see in the fossil record, if you as you go back in time, you see more and more archaic ancestors of humans, more ape-like, right? So the evidence that we have, see, science is all based on evidence. You have theories and you have evidence, and the theory must match the evidence, or evidence must match the theory. If you have a theory but the evidence says something different, then your theory is false. It's discarded. That's how science works. It's all entirely logical. It's all based on the concept of pratyaksha praman, evidence, hard evidence, empirical evidence. So from whatever we see when it comes to the evolution of humans, or the evolution of our closest cousins, the chimpanzees, etc., the Darwinian paradigm does work. It is indeed true, right? Um, and it's not like Darwin was some prophet who came up with some new theory. No, he observed things, and on the basis of that, he came up with a theory which has been then more or less proven to be correct. Evolution. So our itihas speaks about human history of the past few thousand years, of the history of our ancestors in the subcontinent, maybe in the last 10,000 or so years. I don't think our itihas speaks about a time period 300,000 years before today. No. Our itihas speaks about the oldest stories in our itihas are what? The first battle that we know of, the first geopolitical military campaign, the Battle of the Ten Kings, and some events somewhat before that. That may be, I don't know, in the past 10,000 years, 12,000 years, because it doesn't speak about ice sheets covering the earth, which means it's a time period that came after the last ice age. The last ice age ended about 11,000 years before today. So we're talking about a period of history in the past 10,000 years. That's what our Itihas talks about. And 10,000 years is too small a period of time to see any actual visible evolution. So that's where we are. So from all the evidence, hard evidence that we have, the Darwinian paradigm is indeed correct. Evolution does happen. We've seen that. We've seen that in the fossil record and fossil evidence. And some species change a lot. Some species don't change too much. Crocodilians haven't changed a lot in the past 500 million years. Crocodiles used to eat dinosaurs. Today they eat whatever's available today here. uh, and so on. We know how whales have evolved. Whales and cetaceans and dolphins, they evolved out of dog-like animals. So whales, dolphins, closely related to each other. They're also closely related to various kinds of seals. And you can see that seals bark like dogs. Seals are like aquatic doggies. So whales, seals, dogs are all closely related evolutionary, from an evolutionary perspective. And dogs have evolved out of wolves. They are the same species or subspecies. They are closely related to foxes and jackals and to bears. You look at a bear's face; it's very dog-like. So all of this is, you can see, the evolutionary branches of various families. So it's true, no doubt about it. I don't think our itihas has delved into evolution. Of course, if you look at the various avatars of Vishnu, it does look like evolution, doesn't it? Matsya and then whatever else, right? The Vaman, the boar avatar, then the Vaman avatar and all that sort of thing. It is kind of intriguing. It is kind of intriguing for sure. Yeah.